All right. Hey, welcome. This is kind of my quick reaction after just watching E3, Nintendo Direct at E3 2021. Real quick, first and foremost, welcome to this channel. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. If you would like, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. I'm in a crazy household. I'm a dad of 4, so if you hear some noise in the background, they're having fun early in the morning, and usually I'm hanging out with them and stuff like that, but I'm here hanging out with you guys real quick. We just watched it live on my Twitch stream. Had some subscribers and stuff and followers up on there. It was really good. I wanted to release a quick live reaction to it because I'll be honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed. It was very safe for Nintendo. They don't have, I mean, they're definitely impacted by COVID. And so obviously a lot of people are waiting to see Breath of the Wild 2. Obviously a lot of people are waiting to see if they were going to drop some new Pokemon stuff, some new anniversary stuff from Nintendo. And if they had anything else in there, you know, you got Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, all these different types of things. And we didn't see a lot of that. Say hi up in the chat if you're here. Hit that like if you're here. If I annoy you, well, I'm sorry. But again, this is new stream. Here's the deal. Little underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing Nintendo games since '89. I'm a little bit older gamer. I've been doing it for 32 years now. I've had most of their systems. They didn't really throw anything in there that kind of caught people off. I mean, Shin Megami Tensei 5. A lot of people probably be excited about that. You have, Metroid Dread, which is basically like almost looks like a Samus Returns, a 2D Metroid with the cleaner looks and graphics and gameplay. So there, that looks good. That looked good to me. I played the original Samus Returns on Game Boy and Metroid, the original Metroid on Game Boy, which was fantastic and fun. So honestly, the new Samus Dread, Metroid Dread looks really, really good if you were playing in handheld mode, or if you were playing, especially if you had like a Switch Lite or something like that. They did not drop a new Nintendo Switch, which a lot of people thought. There's a lot of rumors coming out leading up to it, the 2 weeks leading up, that they were going to, which leads you to believe, are they concerned about supply issues and stuff like that? Is it ready? They've had a bunch of distribution stuff shipped to factories to be able to build these things. And so there's a possibility that they have it and they can get it up out there. Now, are they worried about being able to restock and get things out there? Or are they building stock to be able to drop it in November and do like a 3-month cycle type thing? We didn't really get anything new for the Zelda anniversary other than the little mini handheld one, kind of that old school feel where you can play 3 old school Zelda games, the original one, Zelda. They didn't do Link for the Past, which would have been cool kind of in there, but they did do Link's Awakening, the original kind of like Game Boy version of it, which is kind of a nice little mix up in there. And if you haven't played the remake, it's really good on the Switch. I play all platforms, full confession. I love my Switch. I love all of them. As you can see, I got a couple extra ones up and back there. But I think a lot of people are going to be a little underwhelmed. I think when it comes to E3, I mean, Microsoft was the one that had probably the strongest press conference out there. I think Nintendo's been really impacted by what they had out there. Mario Golf looks fun, comes at the end of the month. They have a battle mode. Speed golf would be fun with a lot of your friends and stuff like that. You can kind of get a little aggressive, kind of get a little things like that. I mean, they dropped Just Dance. They're dropping more like a Mario Party kind of 100-game mini game thing like they did for the 3DS, which could be good and fun. They didn't realize, I mean, when they dropped it, a lot of the gaming critics, a lot of the hardcore and independent people are like, well, Mario Party sucks. Mario Party sucks. It's one of the top-selling things on the Switch since it's come out, and it still sells, which are like, oh, okay, maybe we should release some live co-op play, be able to play live virtually. Hey, maybe we should add DLC. Maybe we should get into this more, because what you're learning too with Nintendo, it's not about quality of game, so to speak. It's about fun in the game, because a lot of families own Switches. And if adults want to play with the kids, it's got to be very simplistic. Mario Party is exceptionally simplistic. You're literally mimicking very small gestures and things like that. And so, hey, guess what? We're now going to release a whole Mario Party mini game, 100-game type thing, where it has online co-op and different things like that. So that could be fun to do, different stuff like that. Skyward Sword comes out next month, and they're really trying to push that on. And I think you're going to see, because of this is really kind of what I got out of this with Nintendo. I think they're really adhering to the regular Direct stuff. There's going to be a Pokemon Direct. There's going to be another Zelda Anniversary Direct. There's going to be, if they are going to drop a new console, a separate new Nintendo Switch Direct. I think they're going to wait until after Skyward Sword drops in July to do another Nintendo Direct, mainly because why would you kill the sales of that if you're possibly planning on releasing a dual copy of say Wind Waker and Twilight Princess together, which has been strongly rumored, confirmed possibly on some of some rating boards across in a couple different countries and stuff like that. You don't want to kill the sales of Twilight Princess because you're trying to get something out of it you didn't get originally, which is sales and people to love Zelda Twilight Princess. And so you got to let it kind of do its thing because you don't want to kill it. Two, the Switch is still hot right now. The Switch is still selling. And if you're worried about a supply cycle going into November and things like that, when you got Diamond and Pearl dropping, when you got Akias dropping in January, that they said, January 21st of next year, you want people to be able to get that. And if you are going to release, say, Breath of the Wild with the trailer that they've released, you can see why maybe it's taking longer because they are adding, it's the same environments, but they're adding a third level in that environment, which is our secondary level, which is a lot of aerial environments and stuff like that on there. And so when you're doing that, they're probably running some hiccups because they got really excited and therefore they're adding elements in there that are taking longer for them to go in there. They're adding a new physics element there. If you saw it in there to where with the Sheikah Slate, you can basically liquidize yourself and go through surfaces and things like that. There's free falling and skydiving and different things like that. There was a lot of cool new physics and animations that they're looking to add up in there. That could be really, really, really cool. But in doing so, and you get really ambitious because the first one was so the groundbreaking is not the word to describe Breath of the Wild. It was definitely groundbreaking, but it also changed the entire genre. So to kind of give that same type of feel, I think what you're seeing with the developers of Zelda is that they want to kind of not leave people hanging like Breath of the Wild 2 is just like a big DLC. They want you to make it feel like it's a generic, unique experience, which is pretty traditional. I mean, look at prime example, since we've gone to 3D Zeldas, you look at Ocarina of Time, which is so unique and groundbreaking, and you go into Majora's Mask where they added a completely new element in there to change the entire style of gameplay and flow in there. They don't like to kind of do a DLC thing where you're literally, I would equate it to like when you play Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2, or, with all of these other genres of games that you have on other platforms. Zelda is not one that wants to just stay to the same mold. So in doing so, though, it's going to get ambitious, and you add COVID in there, they can't, it's a difficult one in there. So they're saying 2022. I thought they may try, their attempt would be to drop it in March of 2022. That would be 5 years after, literally to the day, to the month that they dropped Breath of the Wild 2 to kind of keep it and cap it as the end of that Zelda anniversary. I almost feel it's going to drop in holiday. They're not going to drop it in the middle of the year. They're not going to drop it in September because they're going to crush sales with that. Now, do they push the Pro Switch, the new Nintendo Switch? Do they push it back to next year? Do they drop it right before holiday season and coincide new Nintendo Switch sales with new Breath of the Wild 2? And I don't think it's going to be called Breath of the Wild 2. We'll see what it's called. They don't like to do the 2 cycle in Zelda. They really like to have its own unique name with it. So we'll see kind of what that does. Obviously, Gandalf is back, and it's going to add kind of new elements and different things like that. So long story short, I think people were expecting, there was no Bayonetta 3. They said they're working on Metroid Prime 4. Is it literally going to come out of the end of Nintendo Switch's life cycle? Is where you're kind of heading here too. You just kind of get this vibe like Nintendo's riding this wave of goodness, or did they just treat this like another Direct, which almost is kind of where I'm going now that I think about it. Sorry, this is live. My brain kind of puts things together as I talk about things. I'm a verbal vomiter, so I apologize for that. I've only been doing this 3 weeks, so bear with me. Are they just treating this like a normal Direct? Okay, here's what we had for E3 at this point. We're dropping Shin Megami Tensei. We're dropping kind of a Wario meets Snipper Clips type thing. We have Mario Golf coming, so we're going to announce that. Hey, remember, we have Skyward Sword coming out next month. Hey, we've got Mario Rabbids coming here. Ubisoft announced it. Hey, nothing with Microsoft So Phil Spencer, they've got something that works, or Phil Spencer's just screwing with people, which Phil Spencer plays mind games. There's all of these things kind of going up about it here, or is Nintendo kind of like in this limbo position because development is still not, Japan's still dealing with the COVID crisis. It's not really died off there. They've been struggling for the last couple of months. So unlike here, like I'm obviously in California, here in America, you're not getting, we're kind of coming out of it. And so production and all this stuff is picking up and different things like that. Japan's not. A lot of it's, they're still working at home, still working different things like that. And the home setup does not have the full structural setup that you need to really develop a lot of these games. So, is Metroid Dread to hold us over till Prime 4 comes out? I think so. I think they're still trying to get people interested in that. They did drop a new Smash character. Dude, they're bringing Tekken into Smash. I would love for them to drop original Tekken games remastered or just cleaned up on the Nintendo Switch. I'm a fan of Tekken, been playing it back since the PlayStation days, the original PlayStation days. We played, Tekken 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic games. They're 2 Point Campus, which to me is a fun game. 2 Point Hospital on the Switch is fun. Play it on the, the Series X. Don't play it on the PS4 because I'm still working on getting a PS5. It's a really good PC game. But, there wasn't a whole lot of outside of that. So to me, kind of get my live reaction is it's kind of like, that's nice. That's fun. Monster Hunter stories, it could be fun. It definitely feels a lot like a Dragon Quest 11S game, which could be cool. Are they going to drop a Dragon Quest 11-12 on the Switch? Maybe that would be cool too. It did so well. It was such a beautiful game. If you like RPGs, turn-based RPGs, kind of where you get this open world exploration type thing, highly recommend picking up Dragon Quest 11 S and doing that. And so Monster Hunter Stories would be good. Monster Hunter Rise, I mean, they're still killing it off that. That's still one of my favorites. And they're going to release a lot of regular DLC that's free. But anyways, I just had to come up on here a little underwhelmed. If you want to wrap up all of E3 altogether, it's a little underwhelming on a lot of it. Capcom, a lot of people are disappointed. Square Enix, a lot of people got excited. They're dropping all Final Fantasy stuff. Yay, 1 through 6 to the phone. So for me, kind of reactionary is first time, been less than a month in streaming. Me kind of getting into this stuff as a secondary thing. I'm still going to, my day job is teaching, doing all type of stuff. Xbox, man. Xbox is basically said, all right, Sony, we're here to play. We're going to be the multiplayer platform. We're going to be the streaming platform, service platform type thing. What do you got? You're going to bring story player. You're going to bring single player story. That's fine. That's great. The bulk of your players play multiplayer, and the bulk of your players are probably going to appreciate playing and getting games, streaming and stuff up on there. Or a subscriber-based thing. Dude, if you don't have Game Pass and you have an Xbox and you have, or a PC, dude, it's the best value in gaming. And to take out of all this, they're dropping 27 of the 30 games from Xbox that are coming to Xbox or coming to Game Pass day one. Or coming to Game Pass, period. Every month till the end of the year, they're dropping a big game on Game Pass free. Now for me, all confession, I got the Series X through the All Access, which, dude, I would recommend if you could, your credit can take it and different things like that. Dude, I get Game Pass for 2 years guaranteed. I get to buy the system in Game Pass, no interest, and pay it off when I want to. I can pay it off earlier, just pay it off monthly, very cheap. Do it because Game Pass, obviously, they're holding their value. They're up to close to 30 million subscribers on Game Pass. They'll be up to 40 million subscribers here, hopefully by the end of the year. And if they do that and they bring it to some other platforms, that's great. So anyways, this has been fun. This has been awesome, dude. I'm going to get up on here more. I am going to do an unboxing of my actual gaming PC / video editing software PC. I was able to get my hands in custom one. Obviously, I don't have an RTX 3080, 70, or 90. I was able to get my hands on a 2660 relatively quickly. Didn't have to kind of fight to get it and overpay for it. So it's still going to do what I'm going to do, but I've still built it enough to where I can upgrade once those 3080s and 3090s and 3070s drop down in price. But anyways, for JG&T, this has been fun. This has been a quick live stream reaction to E3 and especially Nintendo's. I had to say something. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I got a back catalog games on my Switch that's just massive. Meh. That's kind of my reaction to Nintendo. Anyways, hey, be good to one another. Look after one another. Check in on some people you don't know. Subscribe to the channel if you can. And a lot more of this to come over years, man. Appreciate y'all. Again, for JG&T, peace out. That good Tuesday vibes type thing. Love y'all.